I had to slow down very quickly. I'm laying on my horn the whole time, like trying to let him know I'm here. If you can't see me, I'm here. Stop. Hello fellow YouTubers, I'm Cassandra Joy and welcome to my channel. The thumbnail is not clickbait. I am in the middle of having a panic attack right now. I am currently drinking some tea with 2 tea bags because it's a 2 tea bag kind of minute, and if any of you are curious, the tea is cinnamon vanilla herbal tea by the brand Stash Tea. I have no idea if I'll even upload this video. Probably won't, but just in case. I thought I would film this, mostly to distract myself, to give me something to calm myself down. For any of you who suffer from panic attacks, this will seem pretty obvious to you, but for those of you who aren't familiar with what a panic attack is, from what I understand, panic attacks can feel different to everybody. Panic attacks can feel very similar to heart attacks, or like your chest can feel very heavy, you feel like you can't breathe, you're very aware of your heartbeat, that kind of thing. So as far as I'm aware, I've only ever had 2 major panic attacks, one of them being now, and both times I wasn't really quite sure that's what they were. And the first time it happened, I don't even know what triggered it. And that's the thing about panic attacks, sometimes nothing triggers it. It just kind of happens for no reason, which is the most infuriating part. I have a friend who suffers from them on a more regular basis than I do, and I was asking her some advice and asking her what causes them. And she told me that sometimes nothing causes them, they just happen for no reason. They can happen anytime, anywhere, and that's really frustrating. The first panic attack I ever had was maybe a year ago. I may have had little ones since then, I just weren't aware of what they were. It probably felt to me more like anxiety than it did panic. And the first time, I have no idea what triggered it, and it lasted maybe about 30 minutes on and off. It would come in bursts or waves. It did eventually go away. Today I am having a panic attack right now, in fact, which again, I don't know why I'm filming it, but I guess maybe to kind of explain what I'm feeling and hopefully help somebody else who has the same issue. I don't even know if I'm in focus right now. I can't see myself or if I'm even centered. So this video may be crap, but so I thought I would just kind of run you through what I think might have triggered this panic attack. And I know I seem very calm right now doing this. It's always been therapeutic for me and it's helping calm me down. You should have seen me about 10 minutes ago when I was talking to my parents, explaining to them how I was feeling. But let me tell you the story of what I think triggered this panic attack first. I was driving home and I felt fine. It was a normal drive home. I'm on the highway, I'm in the middle lane, there's a truck on my left and there's a semi on my right. And so I speed up a little bit because I don't like being in between 2 really big cars. My car isn't all that small, it does sit up a little higher, but I don't like feeling kind of enclosed. I don't like that feeling. So I was attempting to speed up a little bit to pass them and then merge into the right lane ahead of the semi. Well, as I speed up, I get to the point where the nose of my car is parallel with the passenger door of the truck on my left. Oh, I'm motioning backwards, so what I'm motioning as my left is your right, sorry. Anyway, you get the point. The nose of my car was parallel to the passenger door of the truck. And when I got to that point, the truck turns on its turn signal and begins to merge into my lane. The only problem is I'm right next to him, and apparently he didn't see me. Clearly he didn't see me because he kept going. I honked my horn, I'm not the kind of person to honk my horn except in very intense circumstances and when it's absolutely necessary. I laid down on my horn and either he didn't hear me or didn't care because he continued to merge into my lane with me still in the lane, in the way. So I had to slam on my brakes and slow down enough for him to get in front of me. And that wasn't easy because he's a truck. He's not just a normal car. He's longer than a normal car. So I had to slow down very quickly, and I'm laying on my horn the whole time, like trying to let him know I'm here. If you can't see me, I'm here. Stop. It was dark. He might not have seen me. He could have had his music on and not heard my horn. But in any event, he merged into the middle lane with me in the way. And so I slowed down, barely missing each other. It was a very near accident. I think I had about 1,000 guardian angels working overtime protecting my little car and me inside, because we did not collide. Thank goodness. There was no crash, but there could have been. It was very, very close. And so obviously after that incident, my heart's pounding, my adrenaline's pumping. I'm feeling that fight or flight response that you get when something intense happens. I expected that feeling. That wasn't out of the ordinary. When something like that happens, my heart does race. It's normal. It's automatic. You can't help it. That didn't concern me. What concerned me was that I felt that way the entire way home. I started not being able to breathe very well. I was breathing, but it felt very labored. It felt very difficult. Still feels very difficult. My chest feels very tight. It feels like there's something sitting heavy on my chest. I was very aware of my heartbeat, not so much anymore, but it's a very unnerving feeling to have where you can hear your own heartbeat and you're very aware of it, and then that makes you aware of your breathing and makes your heartbeat faster because you're trying to, it messes with everything. It messes with your head. I had that feeling all the way home, and that was probably a 20-minute drive from that moment to getting to my house, and I still have that feeling. So I come home and I talked to my parents seeking advice on what I should do, if it was something that I should be concerned about, only because the things that I was feeling are symptoms of a heart attack. And I've obviously never had a heart attack, but I know the symptoms, so when I started feeling those symptoms, I got concerned. They very calmly reminded me that I had had this feeling before, and it turned out to be nothing. It just was a phase. It came in waves, it came in bursts, and then it was gone. It did recede, it went away eventually. Once I started thinking about it, I realized that it probably was not a heart attack and much more likely a panic attack. I decided to look on YouTube ways to calm yourself down because I wasn't sure what to do. I fixed myself a cup of tea because that always helps, and watching YouTube or distracting myself by something visual often helps distract me and calm me down and get me to the point where I'm breathing without being aware of my breathing. Does that make sense? When I typed in anxiety and panic attacks, one of the first videos that came up was a Zoella video, a video that I had seen before but hadn't listened to for the purpose of my own education. I will link that video down below in the description box because it is really informative. I'm pretty sure she said that she has the disorder, which I do not, as far as I'm aware. But it was really fascinating and really comforting to hear her explanation of what a panic attack is, what can cause it, and how to deal with it. And one of the things she said was that it's caused by your body's fight or flight response. Whether it's rational or irrational, your body, for whatever reason, thinks that it needs to go into fight or flight mode and will act accordingly. Your adrenaline starts pumping, your heart starts beating really fast, your breathing becomes labored, and you may even feel like you're having a heart attack. That is a common misconception. And hearing her say that was so relieving because that's exactly what I was feeling. Those symptoms were what I was experiencing, what I am experiencing. It was very nice to hear her talk about it in a way that I can understand from somebody who has experienced it. I honestly don't know why I'm sharing this with you, except in the hopes that maybe it helps somebody to know that there's someone out there that deals with this too. that you're not the only one. Even if it's not a disease for you, even if it's not so far as a disorder for you, if it's as infrequent as mine are, it's still nice to know that there's somebody out there that has gone through what you are going through or have gone through, and to know that there are ways of dealing with it and that you will get through it. Despite how you may feel, it just makes you feel very exhausted because your body's working overtime, your heart's working overtime, which I'm starting to get to that point now. My chest still feels very tight. My breathing still feels very thick, difficult to breathe. So, more tea. If there are any of you out there who have dealt with panic attacks or anxiety, if you have any solutions or tricks of how you deal with it and how you calm yourself down and get to a point where you can regulate your heartbeat, regulate your breathing, if you have any advice in that area, I would love to hear it. Please share it in the comments. I would love to hear what you do, not only to include it in my own routine, but to also maybe help others who have the same issues and don't know what to do about it. I know this is not my typical kind of video. I know it's not very bubbly or happy. It's not that perky, happy vibe that you guys are used to, but it's real. I'm literally having a panic attack right now. Honestly, the only two reasons I'm filming this is one, to distract myself as a kind of therapeutic thing, and to also potentially help somebody else who has dealt with the same issues, and to seek advice and help from you guys if you have gone through this, on how to deal with this, how to come down from a panic attack and regulate your breathing and your heart rate. Please let me know, because I will be honest, this sucks. This is not a good feeling. It's very worrying because you do feel like you're having a potential heart attack. And I think talking about it right now is not helping, so I will probably end this video because the more I talk about it, the more I'm reminded of it, and I can't relax, I can't calm down. It's all that stupid truck guy's fault. If he had been paying attention, he would have not almost run into me and caused this whole situation. If any of you are truck drivers out there, please just be aware of little cars like mine. We are there. You may not always be able to see us, but we are there. So look before you merge into another lane, please. All sarcasm aside, I'm very glad that nobody was hurt. That's the main point here. And I'm very thankful for you guys. For one, that you've even watched this far into the video, and for supporting me in general. You guys are just really honestly incredible, and I don't say it enough. Well, I need to finish drinking my tea before it gets cold, and I need to let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for those of you who watched to the end. I appreciate you and everything you do. I'm not going to do the whole spiel about liking the video, but if you do have any advice or stories of your own experiences to tell, please share them in the comment section so that other people can benefit from your advice, including me, because I could really use some advice right now. Or if you have something that you think would make me laugh, include that, because I always love a good laugh, and that would be a great distraction for me right now. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Mwah. Bye.